No wife, no kids, no job, no pets, and no problems.
When you look at the younger generation today, is there anything you don't like about them?
Yes.
The quote that I found I thought was pretty cool, and it goes, "Listen to your elders' advice, not because they're always right, but because they have more experiences of being wrong." Today I wanted to switch it up just a little bit and cover a topic. It's about elders who are giving their thoughts on what they used to think was important when they were younger and what they think is important now in retrospect, now that they have more wisdom. All these videos are coming from a channel. I want to give him credit. His name is Yair Brachiyahu. I'm sure I butchered it, so my apologies, but I'm going to link to his Instagram page in the description of the video. He has a lot of good content. And so with that, let's get into it.
How old are you?
58.
What is something you thought was really important when you were younger, but as you got older, you realized it wasn't that important?
Having a lot of money, it doesn't buy you happiness. Chasing wealthiness is not the ideal thing to do. To me, success is what you do in your life, the people that you touch. But money, it's great to have, but that's not the main thing.
So what does make you happy?
Just helping others, working with people, seeing other people succeed.
What is something you regret the most in your life?
Being pressured too much when I was younger to going on a path I really didn't want to go on. Just, hey, you know, if you want to be successful, you have to make money. At the beginning, it was kind of like that. I was like, okay, well, this is what I got to do, you know, because this is what society tells you to do. In order for you to be successful, you have to make the money. But later on, it's like you try to follow that path, but then it's like, no, this really doesn't make me that happy. I mean, money is important, but you still have to be that happy person day in and day out.
So if you could go back in time, knowing what you know today, and give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would you tell him?
Be stronger. There's going to be a lot of obstacles in your way. Be positive, and if it's to be, it's up to me.
What I'm getting from that is that he has some people in his life, maybe his parents, maybe some other elders in his life, who told him to forego whatever his passion was and to instead go down a path that makes more money. And as a first-generation U.S. citizen, I understand that very intimately. Both of my parents hammered into me that I should go down a path to do a degree that gets money, that has a return on investment. Whether we like it or not, we live in the economy where you have to make money. Life is not all about money, as he rightfully said. I think he is wise in saying that. But we live in a system where you have to make money to survive. You know, it's not like you can survive on the land. You can, but very few people do. You know, maybe he's looking back on it saying, maybe I wish I would have went and tried my hand at becoming a successful artist. I'm just assuming something here. That's great. But we do know that the chance of some things working out versus others is more or less. If you go down the path of becoming an engineer or a doctor or something in STEM or healthcare, you're more likely to get a career where you can make a comfortable living as opposed to going down a path where maybe that's not the case.
What is something you thought was really important when you were younger, but as you got older, you realized it wasn't that important?
Probably money, even though it matters, makes it easier, but it doesn't guarantee joy. Good health is important, and luckily I am blessed.
What else are you blessed with?
Probably my spirit and my disposition. I look for the good in everything, and I find it, because life is sad if you let it be.
Money. We can't take it with us.
That's why he's called tight and cheap, because it's money. You can't take it with you. Like I say, I have 4 children. The word in my house, not so much was love and everything, was the word appreciate, because that's what I think people should be.
I really like what she said about how health is very important. She did mention, of course, that she thought money was the most important thing when she was younger, and now that she's a bit older, she realizes it's not. And by the way, this is a finance channel, so all these clips are going to be related to money, so I hope I didn't give you a spoiler alert there. But with that said, she did mention that health was very important, is very important. And I know that's common sense to a lot of us. For me, it's 1A and 1B, maybe 1C. And 1A is gonna be health. 1B is gonna be either relationships or money, and then 1C is either relationships or money. And because without those 3 things in some kind of appropriate balance, you're not gonna be happy. And again, I don't think money is more important than healthy relationships, but in the system we live in, it is, because you could be around people that you love, but you could be unhappy around them a lot of the time because you're struggling to make ends meet. All this stuff seems very obvious to me, but nonetheless, there's a lot to be learned from these.
What is something you thought was really important when you were younger, but as you got older, you realized it wasn't that important?
As a younger person, I think we tend to want to make a lot of money and acquire a lot of material things, have a big house, great car, all those things. And that's not what life is about. Life's about your relationships, love, and being able to know what abundance really is and what enough means.
What does abundance mean to you?
Paying the bills when they come in the mail, wanting what we have so that we don't want more. You don't need a lot
lot of money to be happy in life. You need your health, you need good family, and good friends. My parents are gone. All the money in the world can't bring that back, and all the money in the world can't bring your health. If you're in bed and you can't get out and you have a ton of money, it's not going to get you out of bed.
I like money, and I've spent a lifetime accumulating it, but only for the purpose of comfort, not to accumulate possessions and jewelry and stuff like that. The most important thing in life is to be happy with the person you are and to be kind to people around you whenever you can.
You know, I find it interesting, his definition of abundance. His definition of abundance sounds more like what the other gentleman said, which is comfort. He said abundance is being able to pay your bills, and it kind of got cut off there. But down that same vein, pay your bills, have enough to eat, have a car to drive, not the most fancy car, have a roof over your head, not the most fancy house. And so a lot of times, at least whenever I hear the word abundance, I'm thinking of things that are more than comfort, like a super nice car, super nice house, the ability to eat at 5-star restaurants if that's your thing, or to take super fancy trips all the time if that's your thing. And people love traveling, and it's great to create experiences with people. Not that you have to travel to do that, but nonetheless. So it's interesting that he said that. And maybe that's because in his mind, which I like it if that is what he's saying, that abundance really is that. Abundance is really the simple things. Anything above abundance is no longer abundance. It's excess, it's extravagance, it's waste almost. And so abundance is having enough to enjoy your life with the people you care about, doing things that you enjoy doing, and just having enough money to do that. Not having so much money that you're worried about buying the nicest jewelry or the fanciest gadgets or things like that. So I don't know if I'm creating a whole new narrative for the man, but that's kind of how I took it.
How old are you?
77.
How does it feel to be 77?
I don't feel it. I feel like I'm 29.
What is something you thought was really important when you were younger, but as you got older, you realized wasn't that important?
Money and a lot of material things that you think are very important, and they're really not. We think money is everything. Property, jewelry, fancy clothes, but it's just temporary.
When you look at the younger generation today, is there anything you don't like about them?
Yes. Kids today, they have everything. They have too much. They don't know what else to wish for. At Christmas time, we used to wish for a new dress or a new pair of shoes. Now they have that every day, so there's nothing else that they want.
In your 77 years of life so far, is there anything that you regret?
I wish I come in this country when I was a lot younger. I came when I was 16, and that's a tough time to adjust.
What was it like to come here from a different country and not have a lot of money?
What was hard is because you don't speak the language. You can't tell what you want. The food was terrible because come from in Italy, you have good food, good pasta, good things. So it's a lot of change.
So it's funny, when she said that I laughed, but I wonder if the younger generation, which I'm included in that, if we really do have everything we want. And I think we do. And I think we have everything that we need. You know, if you live in the United States or a developed or a westernized country, for the most part, you have what you need, even at a basic level. And even if you don't have a lot of money, and even those people who don't work, who are homeless, for example, at the very extreme end of things, there are still shelters. There's still places for those people to go. There's still government programs and assistance. So we're in a very privileged position if you live in a westernized country like the United States to have everything you need. And if you're just a middle income person, or I guess you could say average person, you have everything that you need. So she's right. It's funny because even though we have everything we need, we still have this FOMO, and we still have this thing where we go on Instagram and we look at our friends and we look at people and we go, man, I want that. Man, I want that. It's like, well, we have everything we need, you know, but it's always more, right? So she has a point, but I don't think she's aware of the fact that even though we have our basic needs met and covered, there's still that new level now, which is, I think, creating all this, I guess, disease of the mind or stress of the mind, you know, the anxiety, the depressions, things of that nature.
How old are you?
I am 68 years young.
How does it feel to be 68 years young?
I love it. My life is perfect. I have everything. All I do is travel the world 3 weeks every month. I have a condo on the beach, and I got a couple girlfriends.
Oh, all right.
Life is good.
You're living the dream. If you were 20 years old again, what would you do differently?
Learn how to invest in real estate. That's how I retired, but it took me until I was 50. So learn how to invest and make money where you sleep, and that's the way that you can enjoy life. Work gets in the way of life. You don't want work getting in the way of your life. So have residual income.
I love that. You look great for 68.
I have no wife, no kids, no job, no pets, and no problems.
So what's your secret for looking so fit and healthy at 68?
Protein, exercise, and young women.
I love that. I love that. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, to each their own. You know, the last few clips that we saw, people were saying that the most important thing in life is relationships. And I guess he has them. The young women he's talking about, I guess those are relationships he has. But, you know, the good thing about this man is that it sounds like he's stress-free because he made some decisions early on when it comes to real estate. And I'm a big advocate of real estate. I don't think it's as easy as everyone makes it seem online. Just, you know, if you go to Bigger Pockets and you read a couple articles and now next thing you know, people are saying they're going to go and flip houses for a living. Hey, people have done it, but I'm just saying it's not as easy as they make it sound, but it's definitely doable. And as a property owner myself, I do agree with him that it's a great way to make money while you sleep. Now, listen, I'm on a very small scale. You know, I only have a couple properties. I don't know how much he has, or how many he has rather, but seems like he's enjoying his life. He said no kids, no pets, no wife, no something else. I forget, but essentially it's just him, which he seems happy enough. Personally, I don't know, this sounds kind of lonely to me, but again, to each their own. But his perspective is a bit different, or is it different than other people? I mean, I don't know, because he didn't necessarily say the money is everything. He just said to make enough residual so you can not have work get in the way of your life. And so I guess you could equate that to working equates to money. And so the trying to accumulate and chase money can get in the way of your life. Maybe that's what he's saying. So, but it's interesting. His perspective is different than the rest. So I wanted to end it with a quote that I found I thought was pretty cool. And it goes, listen to your elders' advice, not because they're always right, but because they have more experiences of being wrong. It's a bit different than what you normally hear about listening to the elders because they're wise, which they are, or listening to the elders because they have more experience than you have, which they do. It's not to say that they're always right, because no one's always right. But it's saying that you can still learn from them regardless, whether they're teaching you about their failures or their successes. And I think a lot of times you can learn more from the failures. Learn from someone else's failures so you don't have to experience it yourself, which gives you a shortcut to get to where you need to be. So I thought that was a great quote. And with that, I appreciate you for sticking around. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you don't mind leaving a like, it really helps for the YouTube algorithm. And if you feel so inclined to subscribe, it really helps as well. And until next time, make great financial decisions.